Good morning everybody and welcome to this game between Digital Chaos and Infamous for the Starladder Star Series Season 3. We're gonna be taking a look at this game today. First of all, it looked very interesting. High action, intense game. But that's actually not the main reason why I want to watch it. The main reason will be coming up soon. Now, alright, I'm just gonna spoil it. This game has a Lone Druid in it. Lone Druid, even though he is currently probably the most powerful hero in the game, him or Ember Spirit, something like that. But Lone Druid is considered to be incredibly powerful, but he's never picked because he's always banned. So I have never actually seen him played in a competitive game before. I really haven't. I have been watching more competitive Dota recently, right? As I told you in my last cast, I'm gonna go ahead and try to catch up with the meta a little bit. But I just have not seen it, because he's always banned. So I searched for a game where he wasn't, and then I'm like, oh, this game looks pretty cool actually. And so that's the game we're looking at today. So as you can see, Lone Druid, first picked right here. Which is not too surprising, right? If the hero does make it past the banning stage, you would expect him to be picked up right away. But we got the Centaur Warrunner in response, and then we'll see how we go from there. Now, Lone Druid, he is insanely powerful, of course, right? He has 3 level 25 talents, which are his level 10, level 15, level 20 talent, funnily enough. His level 25 talent is kind of right? That one isn't that amazing, but the other ones are just incredible. And you always go for the same stuff, too. You always go for the 200 attack range, you always go for the 65 damage, and you always go for the 50 seconds respawn time reduction. Because they're just incredible. Right? They're just super fucking broken. So, I'm excited to see the Lone Druid. Right? I'm excited to learn how to actually play him and see how he's gonna work out here. I'm also interested in seeing if Moonmander is actually gonna be playing the Lone Druid, seeing as he's got the icon here, or if he's gonna be going into a little bit of a different lane, but anyway, we'll see how that works out. Earth Spirit being picked up by the Dire, as well as Spirit Breaker for the Radiant. Spirit Breaker, a hero that is very good at closing distances. So is Centaur actually, and Centaur is not only good at closing distances, but Centaur allows your entire team to close the distance with his ultimate. And as such, I think that's probably why we are seeing the Centaur Warrunner here. One of the biggest strengths of the Lone Druid, the way he's played right now, right, the talent, right-click, range carry way, the biggest strength he really has is he has a lot of range, right? He has a lot of range DPS. He's essentially a better sniper. And if you can just close in on him somehow, then you can actually kill him pretty easily. Lone Druid isn't that tanky without his ultimate, so you can actually take him down quite easily. It's definitely possible, especially if you have a lot of magic damage. So the Centaur Warrunner is probably gonna allow for that kind of playstyle. You know, I expect Infamous to go for more of an aggressive lineup, something that can close in on the Lone Druid, as we can see with the Queen of Pain, and then just burst him down, completely disabling that hero from the fight. Mirana being banned out, as well as the Weaver for the Dire, and then Infamous response with an Underlord ban and the OD. Underlord is actually, funnily enough, a hero I've been playing a lot recently. Not in regular Dota, but in Dark Moon. And I can tell you one thing. I love Underlord's level 25 talent. The plus 50 HP regeneration is just ridiculous. So, you know, that's just something I kind of feel, you know, it's a little bit funny to point out that plus 50 HP regen is just a little bit bonkers. And, I don't know. I like Underlord actually. I think he's pretty cool. Vengeful Spirit coming out for Digital Chaos. This is actually funny. So we got Infamous going for heroes that can close in on the Lone Druid, and Digital Chaos going for heroes that can buy the Lone Druid more distance. Right, so the Vengeful Spirit swap, of course. The Earth Spirit can push him around a little bit, or, you know, like, keep enemies away. In general, Earth Spirit is really good at just, like, running in and kind of being a wall, right? Not really being a wall in the sense of putting up actual barriers that you cannot walk through, but he just makes it a little bit of a hassle to get to where you want to go. So, Earth Spirit, you know, of course, it's going to be helpful there as well. But Vengeful Spirit obviously has the swap. Silencer coming out from Infamous, so that might end up being their right-click carry. I'm a little bit unsure who exactly could end up being here, right? Like, Spirit Breaker's clearly going to be support. Silencer could also be support, of course, right? Nothing wrong with that. Centaur likely offlane. Queen of Pain is very likely going to take the mid. So we got the Invoker in the mid lane for Digital Chaos. Invoker is just... actually, Invoker, I'm also excited to see. Invoker is a hero that has been... I don't know, when he first got nerfed with 7.0, people were very afraid for him, right? People were like, ah, God, Invoker's dead. I don't think that's true. Invoker is still really solid. You know, he didn't lose all that much. Yes, he's worse than he was before, but before he was just stupid, right? He was just ridiculous. So, yeah, we'll see how that works out. I also believe he has a new... Yeah, his ultimate now works differently, right? It now just only has 1 point into it at all levels, which that's, of course, you know, a little bit of something else to keep in mind there, too. Tiny coming out for Digital Chaos, and then the Slug for Infamous. So that's going to be the safe lane Tiny. I suppose the Invoker in the mid and then the Lone Druid as the offlaner, actually. So Moon Meander might actually play the Lone Druid here, which is kind of neat. Let me go and just do that really quick. Fantastic. And turn off this. Yes, let's go and jump ahead a little bit though. We want to get through this pause. So of course always the beautiful thing with replays, you know, allows us to just skip through this stuff. But anyway, we got Misery already teleporting into the bottom here, putting down his wards, just making sure to secure this area. You can see the sentry actually detects, or not detects, but blocks this camp. Alright, then of course we have just a regular ward over here, giving them vision. If we take a look at this, you can see it really covers a lot of area. It also covers this entrance, which can be incredibly valuable. But anyhow, so we'll see how this goes down. For now, we've got Cristiano God on the Queen of Pain, BTS J-Hope. I assume the J-Hope is his actual name. On the Silencer, we got Valkyria on the Centaur Warrunner, 2001 on the Spirit Breaker, and then Killer Queen on the Slug. Lots of stand-ins again. A Moon Meander playing the Tiny, going off lane it seems, and he's actually dead. That's a dead Tiny, and you can see the Radiant fully accepts that, and they are just not even gonna bother doing anything about it. V is working on his carpal tunnel, just gonna be in the mid lane, spamming his Q as much as possible. We've got Misery playing the Earth Spirit, Saxa on the Vengeful Spirit, and last Resolution on the safe lane Lone Druid. So it will be a safe lane Lone Druid. They're gonna prioritize getting this guy farmed. Tiny in the off lane, interesting, haven't seen it. Again, I'm a little out of touch with the current metagame, so you know, this is kind of part why we're watching this. Anyway, we got the Tiny going in right now. Activates an early shrine already, so refreshes his mana, his HP pool. We got 2001 on the run. Misery does have that Orb of Venom, and he's just kind of waiting for the next rolling boulder, but seems he doesn't want to commit to it. The shrine is now in range, which means 2001 will be fine, and Misery is gonna retreat. But that still worked out well for the Dire there. They did actually get a lot of damage in. Spirit Breaker is likely gonna have to retreat, which at the very least buys them a little bit of time. Right, Moon Meander at the bottom lane, he's just kind of chilling. This is going to be a bad lane for him. Right, this is not just a slightly bad lane, this is miserable. And he might actually just be dead again. I don't like Tiny in an offlane scenario. Tiny has literally no armor. And if I say literally no armor, I actually mean he has negative armor, right? This hero has negative starting armor, which is just pathetic, right? Right now, he's sitting on a little bit more than negative since he's already level 2 and he's got himself an Iron Branch. And yes, on a Tiny, an Iron Branch does make a difference. So it's a little bit terrible for Tiny here. It's just kind of a sad situation to be in, right? Invoker in the mid lane going up against the Queen of Pain. I'm actually not sure who wins that. Seems currently the Queen of Pain is doing better. I'm not super surprised by that. Honestly, I would give this a pretty even matchup, right? Probably slight edge with the Queen of Pain. It's just the dagger spam is really powerful, and as we all know, Invoker did lose a bit of power. V is actually taking a lot of damage here. He is dead. Yup, confirmed dead. They're gonna go for the deny. Nice play right there, at least they get that. And now the Queen of Pain taking a little bit of damage here. Actually, Moon going in on 2001 will not be able to get there though. The Tiny currently suffering a lot, but yeah, the offlane Tiny just has no armor. He has no way to survive. He doesn't have enough mana to like spam his spells for safety. He really doesn't have anything. Right? The reason why you put a Tiny into the offlane is because you picked a Tiny and you just don't have a better lane for him. In the meantime, actually Silencer manages to snipe the Earth Spirit here. Moon Meander now taking a lot of damage in the mid lane. Spirit Breaker going in. Spirit Breaker insanely tanky, but it's still not going to be enough. He doesn't want to risk it. And actually EMP flying. Spirit Breaker now also Cold Snap on him, taking a lot of damage. Probably dead. Misery takes that kill. Earth Spirit gonna be happy about that. That's for sure. And we already got quite a bit of action in the early game here. The supports, of course, being very active. In fact, this offlane Tiny is in such a bad position that the Radiant doesn't even really need to help out the Slug, right? The Slug can actually win this lane on his own. In a one-on-one matchup, Slug against Tiny, I actually think that the Slug has a good chance at winning that. Right? Now, if you consider the Slug has level 4 as opposed to the Tiny's level 2, and a lot more farm, then it's not even close. So, yeah, you can see Moon Meander, he's just kind of struggling, walking through the map, looking for a different lane to go, and it's just a little bit of an awkward situation. But anyway, hopefully he'll be able to catch up at some point. That point, of course, might not be now, as 2001 is charging him down yet again. Level 3 Tiny now ready. He does, of course, have the Avalanche. He has the Toss that should... Oh, he tosses the Tiny into the tower, the aggressive play. That did save him. That also did a lot of damage to the Spirit Breaker, who will now just charge away. Nice stun from Misery though. Saxka is also here to block. The magic missile flies, and that's going to be a dead Spirit Breaker. They turn that around very nicely. Great play from the Tiny. Absolutely fantastic. Tossing the Spirit Breaker into the creep wave, into the tower. Not going for the purely defensive play, but also saying, you know what? If you're going to go for me, you gotta keep in mind that I know what I'm doing, and I am willing to take some risks to take you down. Because that could have gone wrong. You know, that could definitely have gone wrong. If the Spirit Breaker had just said, well, fuck it, let's go, right? There's a good chance he would have managed to kill the Tiny before anything bad. Or before he would have died. No, he would have still died, but anyway. Top lane, the Centaur War Runner now on a retreat. First hit root, and that's going to be the kill. Not much you can do about that. Not really the Centaur's fault either. That first hit root absolutely confirmed the kill there, and that's pure chance. And one of the few pure random elements left in Dota. Now, admittedly, there was a very good chance that he would have died anyway. But again, the root definitely confirmed it. EMP flying in the mid lane. The Barathum goes down. Now the Invoker taking a lot of damage. Oh, Cristiano doesn't manage to connect with the Scream. And oh, he's dead. The Queen of Pain is dead. Misery coming in with another Boulder Smash. Just stunning everybody perfectly. This is wonderful play from the Earth Spirit, shutting everybody down. In the meantime, the lone Druid is farming up at the top lane. He's got himself his power treads, doing really well there. We've got the Slug just farming at the bottom lane. Just kind of getting his money, getting his power treads as well. So these two are doing about equally well. Net worth, minor favor for the Dire here. You know, minor advantage for the lone Druid. But it's really not significant, right? So, Resolution is just going to continue fighting. Of course, the big thing as an Druid is getting these early levels. You want to be able to have your talents. Level 10 is a very big mark because gaining the 200 attack range is very significant. You know, helps you a lot. And actually, Resolution is now going in pretty deep. The bear almost dropping. Seems like he's just gonna retreat out though. In the meantime, up in the mid, we actually got a kill on V, and now Queen of Pain taking a lot of damage. Earth Spirit doesn't quite have the mana needed, but he might still be able to do it anyway. Oh, the slow the bash! 2001 manages to help the Queen of Pain get to safety. Now the question is, can he get to safety, or is he actually gonna go turn it around on the Earth Spirit? Yep, he got the stun, gets silenced out now, and in the end he goes down. Now the Queen of Pain, oh, Never mind about the safety. She's still here. She's still good to go. And by good to go, I mean good to kill. She goes down by to a quick magic missile from Saksa. And is that how you say that? Saksa. Saksa. I don't know. Odd name. Kind of difficult, but alright. Vengeful Spirit just secures that really quick with the magic missile. Breaks through the teardrop. Raindrop. Teardrop is something else. That's Dark Souls 3 speedrunning shit. Basically the same thing. Blink forward. Nice fear from Resolution, but there's almost no way he gets out of this. He's not tanky enough. He's just gonna die, right? That's just not a survivable situation, really. With that much ganking potential coming in. And of course, that's the strategy from Infamous, right? They did willingly let the Lone Druid slip by the banning stage. They knew that they were gonna pick him immediately, right? They kind of forced DC to pick him, actually. Because if DC doesn't, then Infamous can, right? So DC not only says, well, okay, you know what? We don't want the Lone Druid, but we want you to have him, right? Or be okay with you having him. And that's just not really, you know, a good situation to be in for them. Resolution actually may die again. He's dropping very low. Seems he's gonna be fine though. Yeah. Manages to survive. Now usually as a Lone Druid, it would be huge if he were to die again right here. But since he's not going for the bear build, it's actually not that significant. You know, yeah, okay, it would suck to lose the bear, but you know what? We can deal with that. Right, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. 2001 now at the top lane again. Lots of action in this game, but I think that's just pretty much the norm now. Of course, the death on the Lone Druid really did set him back a little bit. Now the Slug is ahead. Killer Queen going for an early Shadowblade, it seems. And that is pretty much standard, I think. You know, just the Shadowblade allows you to do a lot. You know, there's always been the big debate over Blink Dagger and Shadowblade with Slug. These days, Shadowblade is just favored. Just kind of better than the Blink Dagger. Which, you know what, that's alright. A lot of that, I think, came from the ability to buy these cheaper early game items, you know. Like, for example, the Echo Saber, right? And the introduction of that really helped the build. Anyway, we got a bit of a fight in the mid lane. We manages to get a nice tornado. Now, actually, the Saintor taking a lot of damage. They're gonna get that kill. The silence also on the Queen of Pain, but she'll be okay for the time being. In the meantime, we've got a pick-off on the Spirit Breaker. Now Resolution is in the mid. They get the Cold Snap. Oh, the Lone Druid is dead, though. Sonic Wave secures that kill. Earth Spirit, they're gonna be jumped by the Slug as well, and Killer Queen secures that. Actually, it does go to J-Hope, though, which is kind of funny. Or is it BTS? I don't know. Like, I associate BTS with Beyond the Summit, so I'm not really sure if that's his actual name. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, we've got the face boots on the Invoker. He's gonna go fast, of course, working on the Hand of Midas. So, even though he's not really having the greatest game you could hope for on an Invoker, right, he's still doing just fine, honestly. He's got 4,000 gold net worth at 11 minutes. That's pretty solid, you know. He is level 9, and he's well on his way to the Midas. And of course, Invoker is a hero that really badly wants experience. That's why you always buy Midas, no matter what. You know, you just want to get to level 25, more so than really any other hero in the game. Resolution is now level 10, as you can see. He's got insane attack range, also picking up the Dragon Lance. Just able to be literally sniper. Literally sniper. It's a little bit silly. It's also just so weird to see a Lone Druid just not skilled or true form at all. You know, skipping the ultimate entirely. And it is understandable, because right now you don't really need it. Now, you can, of course, later on do nice little transformation tricks. You know, you go into the bear form, you activate the battle cry, turn back into the range form, click on people. But the problem with those kind of strategies, while in theory very powerful, in theory, basically everything can be powerful, right? As long as your theory is a good theory. So, you kind of got to keep in mind that, is it realistic? Is it actually applicable? Do you have the time for that in a team fight, in a hectic team fight? Can you actually pull it off? And we'll have to wait and see for that one. Charge in the mid. Oh, Saxa actually initiating as well. Hope now taking a lot of damage. And down goes Silencer. Just slaughtered. Absolutely torn apart. Kind of an awkward moment for Infamous. They were setting up for a kill themselves, and they just picked a bad timing for that. Bad moment. Now Slark in the mid lane. Actually, they stun him out. They got detection. EMP is going to connect. But the jump away, and Killer Queen will end up being fine. Tornado connects. Actually, never mind. One attack. No, he's juking around the trees. 2, 3, and down he goes. That's a nice pick-off. They take down the main carry from the Radiant side, and Infamous can't be happy about that one. That was not a very good fight. And now this is, of course, where letting a lone Druid slip past the banning phase might just come back to bite them, you know. Currently, Resolution is doing well, and he has a huge impact on the game already. You can see him running around the map, just doing his thing, dealing damage, pushing towers, you know. Still playing a lone Druid, just a lot more powerful in the early game. And seems we're now gonna rotate into the bottom here. Gonna start pushing down this maybe. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. You know, it's just Resolution is starting to look very powerful. And of course, he's now well on his way to level 16. Oh, not level 16, level 15. Level 15. At level 15, he gets 65 additional damage, and that's just insane. It's 65 bonus damage. It's just crazy. Alright, we got a bit of a situation in the mid lane now. You can see that the Radiant side, they're all around. Infamous, they are looking for something. They want to snipe down the Dadamoka, maybe secure the tower. Either way, they are looking for a fight. They are looking to go in. Moon Meander, by the way, level 9 now. So he's managed to recover a little bit. Not too much, but he's got himself some mana boots. I wonder... Oh, there we go. The Menstrual Spirit actually with the Helm of the Dominator. Oh, she scouts them out. She scouts them out. So now the question is, does Infamous want to fight? And it seems the answer is no. They're gonna retreat out, and honestly, that's perfectly understandable. You know, they were looking for the right moment. But if the enemy knows you're there, well, you're not gonna get that right moment. But this might be it. The silence comes out. They got the charge on V. They're gonna chain it with another silence, and the big ultimate bursts him down. In the meantime, Killer Queen takes down Tiny. Yet again, the poor Tiny not able to do much. Resolution jumped. He was sitting in the background, just spreading lightnings as much as he can. He's now on the retreat out. Now, the Menstrual Spirit taking a lot of damage, but she's quite tanky. She does have that Helm of the Dominator after all. And this is where the damage tick comes in. You know, not the Ember Spirit, the Earth Spirit. Dealing a lot of damage over time. They managed to secure the Centaur War Runner at the very least. Now we got 2001 going into the fight. He stuns up Misery. Resolution looking for a little bit more. He's gonna get the Earth Spirit. Not Earth Spirit. Spirit Picker. God damn it, these fucking names. They're all the same hero. Nah, they're not. I'm sorry. Gotta get there. Gotta get there. It's just a matter of practice. You know, like I'm not even joking. It's just a matter of practice. You just gotta keep associating, seeing a hero do a thing, with calling out the name of the hero and the name of the player. Right? Like that's what you gotta learn to associate. And once you get there, which is just a matter of doing it often enough, then I'm not gonna make that mistake anymore. Right? But right now, it's just like, I still gotta like actively think, okay, what are they called? And that's just not good. Anyway, they just burst down Resolution. Not Resolution. See, that's what I mean. They just burst down 2001. Moonmander throws in Resolution this time, actually. For real. Oh, nice. That was done from the Centaur War Runner, but you can see the lone Druid. He's just pounding into the Radiant. He's just destroying them. This is ridiculous. The damage output is just out of this world, and he doesn't even have that level 15 talent yet. Killer Queen on the run, and he may actually just be done. That's it. He's just taken down. Lone Druid, of course, we see the Maelstrom already in action. He's just running around the map with it, doing a ton of damage. Tiny picking up a Blink Dagger. Now the Tiny has a lot of potential. You know, he's become quite powerful. He also has, you know, the mana he needs for it. With the mana boots, the plus 10 intelligence. it's just Tiny is a scary hero. You know, especially at this stage of the game, he can jump in and deal 1,000 damage to one of your guys, and that's just a lot. All right, and an important thing to kind of keep in mind here about the dire side, which is why they are so far ahead. The supports are also doing very, very well. You know, Vengeful Spirit is actually quite rich. You saw how long that kill on the position 4 support took. Oh no! The Queen of Pain traps herself. Tornado comes in. EMP gonna miss entirely though. And actually Resolution now being hunted down by Killer Queen. He transforms into the bear form and is now gonna try to TP out and... wow, just barely makes it. Ha! Get it? Moon Meander. Yeah, he's not gonna get out. Yeah. We can be pretty sure about that. Nice Sunstrike though. Takes down the Spirit Breaker. But yeah, very close call on that lone druid kill. Very, very close. And seems that Resolution's just gonna go for the Mjolnir right away. You know, he says, do you know what we need here? We need more damage. We need more pushing potential. And one of the big advantages of a lone druid in a regular game of Dota is that he can be in multiple lanes at once. Right? You have a lane where, or well, in a... you know, lone druid up to this point in Dota, I suppose, right? Like, where he wasn't played like this, instead where people went for Radiance and, you know, build the hero around the bear. The ability to push multiple lanes at once is incredibly valuable. Alright, and actually Queen of Pain taking a lot of damage. Resolution already got the silence on him though, so he's gonna have to retreat out a little bit. He's still not very tanky at all, as you can see. Spirit Breaker taking a lot of damage. He charges down Resolution though, no fear. They got Cristiano also going in. He wants that lone druid, but he's low on mana. They deny. They accept. They accept Resolution will die. They're gonna just go in and do it themselves. Now, Moon Meander also dropping. He will go down to Killer Queen. A triple kill on the slog. Very bad fight for DC. And then Famous. They actually can definitely use something like that. You know, they need to come back into this game somehow. And that is step one. That is absolutely step one. Now, they aren't very far behind. But still, they were behind. And that definitely helped. And as you can see, right, like... experience is basically even with that tower kill. Gold is also going to be basically even. So we got the Silver Edge coming out soon on the Slug, as well as the Mjolnir on the Lone Druid. So as I just mentioned, Lone Druid is saying, you know what, we're just gonna kill him. Right, we're just gonna kill him, gonna overwhelm them, and I'm gonna put the Mjolnir effect on my bear, and then I can just put the bear into a lane and it's gonna push people. It's awesome, you know. Oh wow. The burst down the Queen of Pain. Super easy, super quick. Spirit Breaker also being run down. Yeah. There's no charging away from that one. 2 quick kills. Honestly, I don't like seeing stuff like that. Like, that was just an overly aggressive, useless push. And there wasn't really any chance that works out well for the Radiant. The only thing that you can really expect... the only thing you can really expect in that scenario is to lose a hero or two. And that's exactly what happened. Slug, by the way, going for 10% lifesteal and 15 agility. I'm interested in seeing what he goes for at level 20 and a level 25, you know, if the game goes that long. I don't know. The Slug plus 12 in all stats just isn't really that much, you know, and Slug usually is pretty tanky anyway. 3 seconds leash duration is funny. I'm not sure if it's good, but it is funny, definitely. Sentry's down, they scout him out, they stun him up. He does have the Dark Pack active. Activates his ultimate as well, now going in on Vengeful Spirit. He has to retreat out though. The fear is cast on Killer Queen. And now, oh, the huge stomp! Oh my god, they get 3, they get 4, it's just Resolution left, but no! No, it's not. He gets destroyed, DC just torn apart. Beautiful, beautiful initiation from the Spirit Breaker there, getting the huge charge, followed up by the Centaur War Runner, the Stomp, locking the entirety of DC down for the Queen of Pain to scream him into oblivion. Holy hell. What a fight. That's gonna be a free Roshan, and that is huge. There is so much money into, yeah, so much gold, experience, everything into the favor of Infamous here. And they definitely back in this. Aegis now on the slog. He's soon gonna be level 18, actually. I mean, that's pretty big. Sent to Warrunner. He got a lot of money from that fight too, working on his Aghanim's. Interesting item choice. Definitely powerful, right? Just interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Queen of Pain, that was 16, of course. Getting her to level 25 would be kind of nice as well. Oh, actually, look at that. Slaug. He just doesn't have any respect. Oh, they got the stun follow-up. Doesn't seem like they actually got anything they're gonna do with it, though. And nice throwaway. Funny enough, the Slaug actually hits the Invoker. And Moon Meander will drop. So, they get that kill at least. V is hiding. You can definitely see him contemplating. You know, should I go in? Is this worth it? Can I do it? But for now, he's not really gonna bother with it. Skipping a Talon at level 15. It's kind of interesting. So not going for the +1 Forge Spirit summon. Alright. I suppose. Alright, I get that. He's not going for Quas Exort anyway. But the 25% experience gain, you would think, would be valuable on an Invoker, right? I'm not sure if it's more valuable than getting an actual level up in one of his spells. But it seems like it could be, you know, especially if you expect the game to go a little bit longer. And at this point, you gotta expect that, right? At this point, you really have to assume this is gonna go for a little while. So you want to accelerate into the late game as much as possible, right? This game has gone from let's try to actually see if we can somehow force an end to it, back to, okay, we gotta build an advantage first, right? And while building an advantage, any sort of acceleration is always a big deal. So we'll see if we actually goes for the level, level 2 talent here. He's got a level 16. And he puts the point, but he puts it into the Forge Spirit. So, not going for the experience. I'm gonna go for the Forge Spirit instead. And that's, of course, more powerful in the late game. Right? Like, that's kind of the decision you're gonna make there. The 25% experience gain gets you into the late game quicker, while the +1 Forge Spirit is more powerful in the late game. Depends what you value more, but it seems that he thinks he's going to be able to get there anyway, so no reason to accelerate too much, and make a big deal out of that, I suppose. We got the Earth Spirit also picking up a Hand of Midas, so he's just kind of slowly working on his Blink Dagger, building up that reliable gold, as you can see, 1200 reliable gold on him. He's gonna get there soon. We've got the Tiny working on Guardian Grace after the Yules. Interesting choice, that's for sure. Resolution, now gonna grab himself a BKB, which is exactly what I would have recommended if he hadn't, if that wasn't his plan already. He should definitely go for a BKB here, there's not much of a question about that. It blocks most things on the team, well, not really everything, but it does help a lot. Lone Druid isn't that tanky, right? Like, that's just what you gotta keep in mind. He just doesn't have that much HP. He got huge damage output, he just hurts really bad. But in terms of survivability, if you're gonna skip the ultimate, he's really not the strongest. So, I like seeing the BKB here. We got the Invoker. Aghanim's now finished. That's pretty nice. Vengeful Spirit. She got an early Helm of the Dominator, but since then hasn't made much progression. It's probably intentional, right? They're probably now giving that farm to the Earth Spirit instead. They swapped about those roles. Saska is now the position 5. Slug got himself a Basher. I wouldn't mind a BKB on him too much either, but of course Basher just gives him a lot of survivability as well if he upgrades it into the Abyssal Blade. So that could work too. Meantime, up at the top, they actually got Hope being chased down. It's taking quite a bit of damage. A few more right clicks are actually gonna do it, or the Tornado. So they get the Invoker. Definitely pushing up a little bit deep there. They're looking for something. But seems they're not gonna risk it. They don't want to fight without the Silencer ultimate. And that's a wise decision, you know. At the same time, they still have that Aegis, and it's actually gonna be running out soon. So they preferably should go for some sort of kill with that. Right, Queen of Pain, by the way, it was her Lincoln's effect on the Silencer, so she picked up another item. Queen of Pain is also somebody we need to consider quite a bit for the late game. Right, her talents are very good. Plus 20 damage, level 10 isn't that crazy, but level 15, very good. Level 20, very good. And level 25, yet again, very good. Level 25 is actually insane. The 70% lifesteal. You know, it's really one of those things where people at first, they were like, there's no way that is that good. Right, like they wouldn't add this into the game if this was as insane as it sounds. Turns out, no, it's actually just that crazy. Right, it's actually just the most bonkers thing in the game. So yeah, you can see she's going for Maelstrom. And actually, look at that silence. Completely shuts down the Tiny as he blinks in. Cristiano not just blinks away from him. She has no fear. EMP flies, but Queen of Pain flies a little bit quicker. We got the Yules up on the Tiny. He should be fine for the time being, though. Slark jumps forward. He does have the Dark Pack. Dust coming out on Weep. The jump. No, disarm, but they're still going to be able to get the kill. Resolution picked off at the start of that fight. And, you know, without the Lone Druid, honestly, DC is lacking a little bit of damage. They just don't really have what it takes. Alright, that tower is going to be under siege. And by under siege, I mean probably dead very, very quickly. Centaur now also finishing up the Aghanim's. By Spirit Breaker, he's got himself a Blade Mayor. So, just a nice casual item that really helps a lot. You know, Barathum has such an insane amount of survivability just naturally that the Blade Mail is, again, just a naturally powerful item. We're gonna jump forward. Nice stuns here, but so far it's actually not really enough to secure anything. The Centaur counters this entire situation with his ultimate. Mystery now on the run. He's about to go down. Gets off an ultimate, so at least a little bit of damage done. And Killer Queen looking for something. He's actually waiting for resolution. He just starts working on a Lone Druid. BKB activated by the Bear, and the Fear now cast on the Slug. He's actually gonna drop. Down goes Killer Queen. And Infamous, they're gonna have to retreat out. And that's, of course, the Savage Roar is quite powerful. I mean, it's essentially a 2.4 second stun. You know, just people move away while doing it, but in this scenario, it didn't really matter. So, yeah. It could be, of course, complete. We saw that right there. And they charged down Resolution again. Actually gonna just kill him. Oh, nice swap. Nice swap, but the charge forward. Can they still do it? Yep, they can. They may sacrifice a bit for it, though. Lose 2 heroes for the Lone Druid kill. Now, of course, Lone Druid has his new talent. Minus 50 seconds respawn. Which, frankly, that's just fucking dumb. No, I'm just gonna say it. I can deal with the other talents. Right, the 200 attack range, yeah, that's pretty stupid. The 65 damage, yeah, that's pretty fucking dumb as well. Right? Like, that's all pretty broken. Minus 50 second respawn, though. Well, that's just disgusting, right? Like, that is just over the line. Hard over the line. Stupidly powerful. And, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, that is definitely something that I would like to see removed from the game. In fact, maybe all of the respawn talents could be removed. I'm just suggesting that. You know, I feel like nobody would be upset over it. You know. But, alright. Alright. Resolution is going to be fine, of course. They're not going to go through with that charge. That will be suicide. Silencer, by the way, just casual force stuff. You know, I always, one thing I always like seeing is when teams, they actually give the Silencer a little bit of money and let him transition into a little bit of a right-click carry. Silencer is one of the most damaging heroes in the game if you let him be. Right? This is not really a debate either. Silencer can actually just be a fucking god if you let him. Now, do people let him? Well, usually not. But it's something that's worth considering, right? And it's something I personally like doing. I like playing a carry stance, and it doesn't even have to be just that simple. Look at that. This ward is actually pretty important here. Alright, it's picked up. I wonder if DC noticed. How much vision does DC have? They don't see. Oh, okay, now they scouted it out. Of course they got the bear. It's completely free, you know. Nothing to worry about. Alright, the Sansa ultimate gonna be dropped here, but Tornado puts up 3 people. Yours now from the Tiny, and Moon might actually be fine here. They bashed the creep instead. The gem is on the ground. Wee's gonna run in, pick it up after he kills 2001. Nice dodge on the Centaur here. Well, Krira doesn't manage to connect with anything, and now the Centaur might actually just drop as well. One more attack, and there he goes. Everybody dead on Infamous' side, except for the Slog, who, of course, has no business fighting anymore. That's just gonna be a free Roshan for the Dire now. Turning that around. Yeah, that's another one of those silly things. You know, you have that bear who has literally no risk associated with him. Right? I mean, what's the downside? They kill the bear? Oh, holy shit, you know what? Just like, oh, big deal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hold relevance to the game. And yes, having the bear is nice. Losing the bear is not a big deal. Right? It's kind of think about, I don't really know. But it's just... So they have this completely free scouting tool. Which is kind of crazy. Right, it's just a little bit ridiculous. And DC can now start killing these shrines. It's actually pretty important you do that. Not only is it 150 gold to everybody on your team. So that's a pretty big benefit, but just takes that access point away. Is Killer Queen actually just going to use the shrine right now? No, use it before they inevitably take it down. Nah, that would be a bit silly. But would be kind of funny. Got a Skadi now, so he's tanky. Can definitely take some hits. Skadi, by the way, also being worked on the Lone Druid. So, he basically got it. He does have the Orb of Venom on the Spirit Bear, of course, and there's a bunch of creeps there, which allows him to afford the point booster. So, there we go. Finishes up the Skadi. That's a pretty big item pickup here. And she was Scout also ready on the Queen of Pain now. So both teams seem a little bit afraid right now. You know, either side has shown that they can actually just kill the other side by having a good fight, right? Like that's what it comes down to: who has the better fight. And I know it sounds a little bit silly, right? But it's not really a matter of, you know, how much can we like surprise them or anything. I know. Actually, no, like, that's actually what it comes down to, right? It comes down to the initiation. If Infamous gets a good initiation, there's almost nothing DC can do. And the game is close enough that you don't want to risk going into a fight. You know, you don't want to be the one that goes in and then actually just gives your opponent a good fight. So it's going to be a Blade Mail into the Maelstrom here for the Queen of Pain. She's now building into the late game stuff, you know, building into items that work well with her level 25 talent. Blade Mail, of course, makes her essentially impossible to kill. While the Blade Mail is active, she heals for 70% of all damage taken and returns 100%, which kind of is a very bad situation. It leads to so many good things for that hero. It's actually a bit silly. Alright, so Blade Mail, very expected item. And then we, of course, got the Casual Mjolnir, which is just nice for right-clicking. You know, lets you deal a lot of damage. Lets you really take people down. Smoke attempt from DC. Looking for something. Still using the Lone Druid to push the top, though. So maybe looking to bait with him somehow. I don't know. One of the Radiants scouted out that creep. Oh, Killer Queen. Nice, he gets off the Dark Pact, so he's gonna be fine for the time being. Activates his ultimate. Tornado flies. Doesn't connect. Blink out. Oh, he picked up a blink. Another Dark Pact. Purchase of that. And the Shadow Blade. He will be fine. Going for another mobility item. The Blink Dagger. So, of course, a Shadow Blade is a better fighting item in terms of, okay, you can click on things better. That's the advantage that item brings. But in terms of actually initiating, Blink Dagger is just 10 times better than a Shadow Blade could ever possibly be. Oh, we got a bit of an initiation on the Lone Druid here. Who is doing alright. I mean, he still's got his edges. So, DC. Oh, they catch Moomian. The return bash though. Craggy, making sure the Slug doesn't get the bash needed to take down Moon there. And now, actually, Spellbreaker kind of caught out. God, poor Killer Queen. He's not having good fights here. Absolutely not. And look at all of these Yules. Queen of Pain going in as well. Meatball's flying though, dealing a little bit of damage there. Now the Slug is all alone in the front, rooted into place. He's still doing fine on Resolution. He's just not afraid. He's going in. Finally drops. Actually, the edges must have just run out. Wait a second. I actually want to go back. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Resolution. You know what? That's not your fault, dude. Look at that. That was literally a second before he died. Oh, come on. I wonder if the Radiant was playing around that. You know, I actually kind of want to go back and look at that fight. Like, look at this. It's just leaving him alone. Maybe not. Maybe not. Resolution should have clicked on the Centaur Warrunner. Yeah, damage to himself. He was trying so hard to die, but couldn't do it in time. That's a little bit silly. But yeah, Radiant goes down again. And again, as I mentioned before, you know, like, you killed a Lone Druid, and who cares? Now what? Right? Like, what's the big deal? He's got 50 seconds less respawn. He's gonna be back before your position 5. Think about that. Right? Like, what the fuck? It's crazy. And now they're just gonna push, because there's no risk that comes along with a Lone Druid. At all. You know, he's your main carry. He dies in a fight. Whatever, we'll just fight again. You know, like, there's no real downside. And this may actually just force out a buyback. I'm gonna go in. Alright. 2001, taking a bit of damage. Gonna be force-stuffed out though and be fine. And the Lone Druid just pounding into these buildings. Just going in. You know, one thing I find kind of funny is, like, when I did my Lone Druid gameplay video, you know, with this build, everybody was like, Baumi, you need to, like, transform and activate the battle cry. I don't see Resolution doing that. He's just clicking on people. You know, like, he's just clicking on people. He doesn't give a fuck. BTS gonna go down right there. BKB is active. Resolution is just sitting in the middle yet again, trying to click on people, and he's doing fine. Alright, running away. He's got his force staff now, so he can always get a little bit of distance or movement, whatever he's looking for. And the lightning he's spreading is just... Oh! The disarm. Got a Queen of Pain coming in, but force staff. And now Killer Queen on top of him. Resolution gonna go down, finally. And V is actually now also in a bit of an awkward spot. Stunned up. Centaur Warrunner. Looking for the kill. It's a 2-on-2 though. The silence on the Queen of Pain. V coming back in. He has the Tornado EMP. Very likely to connect on the Centaur here, so... Centaur actually just standing in the middle of this with his Blade Mail, and Cristiano goes in. Takes down V. Now looking for Misery. Does have the Shiva. He's pretty low though. So he needs to be a little bit careful. Misery has got a stun in a second. Doesn't go for it. Doesn't go for the stun. Just wanted to push him away. The Yules, not gonna be used. Nothing. Gem on the ground. Queen of Pain manages to be the only survivor in that fight. But the Lone Druid is already back. Like, Lone Druid respawned long before that fight was over. If he was really quick about it, there was a chance he could even have come back in, which is just insane. But yeah, the Maelstrom now ready on the Quap. Wonder if she's gonna keep that bottle or sell it. In a second, she'll be level 25. The last fight was really good for the Radiant, since it gave the Queen of Pain the opportunity to get to level 25. And with her, it's really a big power spike. It does make a difference, right? So it really helps out a lot there. This is something I don't like, by the way. The Sansa are going for the 60 additional gold per minute. It's just not a lot. Right, when did he have this? Oh. Alright, Sansa's probably dead. Yeah, he's just gonna done. Charge in from 2001, but he's just gonna have to retreat. Yeah, it's not a good situation here. But yeah, so you have the 60 gold per minute, right? When did he get it? Let's be generous. Let's say 35 minutes. Like, how long do you gonna think this game? You think this game is gonna last? Let's be generous. Let's say 60 minutes, right? Let's just be generous on all of these accounts. That means he has it for 25 minutes, which adds up to what is that? 1,500 gold. 1,500 gold. Like, that's nothing, right? And that's after those 25 minutes is when you have 1,500 gold. In a more realistic scenario, he's gonna have this for like 15 minutes in a game. And in a game like this, gonna have this for it's 900 gold. It's nothing. 200 health is more valuable in almost all circumstances. These gold per minute talents really aren't that good. They're super overrated. They are super overrated. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them. So we got a plus 12 in all stats from the slog. Seems he values the survivability more. And that's perfectly understandable. Really think that's all there needs to be said about that. You know, you wanna be able to take some hits. Slog definitely can use stats in general. The 3-second pounce leash, yes, it's cute. But think about this. Do you get the maximum? Like, do you need 3 more seconds? Do you need it? Or is your current 3.25 seconds? Is that already too much, maybe? If so, then you should go for the stats. Although it is less cool, admittedly. Definitely. BKB ready on the Centaur, which is good to see. Of course, we saw the Heaven's Halberd in that previous fight. Queen of Pain now also level 25. I don't think with Queen of Pain you ever want to go for the plus 35 intelligence. It's just not as good. A little bit of a fight around the Roshan pit is brewing, it seems. Oh yeah. They know they are here. Sounds used immediately. Killer Queen is actually just gonna kill Sakta, but it's taking forever. He doesn't have that much damage output. Lone Druid, look at that. He's just sitting half the map away. The Sonic Wave misses completely. And Lone Druid is able to retreat out. Now he's gonna come back into this fight. They take down the Invoker, which is nice, but Resolution just sitting in the middle of this activates the BKB, putting out a ton of damage. Slark, gonna go down. No, not quite yet. Activates the ultimate. It's gonna be fine for the time being. But Lone Druid, look at that beautiful positioning from Moon. He's just standing there, just bodyguarding for the Lone Druid. He's gonna just slap his giant stone body in between the cliff, Resolution, and all enemies. Make sure they're not gonna get there. And that was wonderful, wonderful play from the Dire, and especially Moon saving the Lone Druid. And yeah, well, Resolution now has a Satanic out of nowhere. Because, by the way, Lone Druid is also one of the best farming heroes in the game. Just like naturally, because you have 2 units, you know, that kind of helps. And Killer Queen may be dead. If he dies here, that could actually just be game. Does he have buyback? He is dead. He doesn't have buyback, and that is game. Like, that's just it. Resolution could literally be killed right now, but he would still be back early, like would be back in time to finish the game because of his respawn talent. Oh, is he actually gonna do it? He transforms, activates it, transforms back, and got 1 attack in. Ah, you know what? Let's just start. Dude, I'm not saying that's the right strat. No, I actually think that is complete nonsense. Just what people kept telling me, so I expected to see it, but I was very doubtful it was actually going to happen. And it didn't, ever. Well, I guess that 1 time, which really doesn't count at all. Alright. Resolution now suiciding into the fountain for really no reason. Just a little bit odd. They do have mega creeps though, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, DC is just kind of like zoning out the Radiant a little bit, being a little bit of a pop team right now it seems, but yeah, you can see the Queen of Pain is trying to do her best, but it's just not enough. Not at this stage, like it's over. So, we're gonna see the GG in a second, if not a GG, just a finish. Maybe Infamous is one of those teams that doesn't GG. You know, like that is a mentality some teams have, where they're like, no, we never GG, we always play to the end. Sure, I guess. You know, if it makes you happy, well, maybe you can make the comeback somehow, but Lone Druid goes down, buys back, I guess. Buys TP boots, or just regular TPs, I suppose. Gonna come back in. Mega creeps are now established, which means that they actually just gonna end the game, as you can see. Yeah, so mega creeps take a little while to establish. After they are established, it's almost impossible to win. And now we, again, working on that copper tunnel. So we're gonna go ahead and just, yeah, put an end to this and... Cool! That was a nice game. That was a nice game. I think I did alright in terms of casting. As per usual, please feel free to leave me feedback. I understand I need to work on the, like, names thing. But honestly, that's just pure practice. I'll get there. Let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the graphs here, though. So, this was a really cool game, right? Team Experience and Net Worth. Very close, it's just towards the end. Honestly, the craziest talent Lone Druid has is the 50-second respawn. Like, it's just dumb. It's just broken. Like, I don't know why that's in the game. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye.